Alrighty, let's talk about one of the biggest runner stocks we've had this year, and that is BYND. I don't want to just, after this thing has pumped, 36% ending today, can this have a more follow through or is this done? All right, so if we looked at the last history of this pump, I mean, we went from all the way from 50 cents, during market hours to 769. It was over 1,000% pump, 1,300%. Monster move. And we literally retraced all the way back down to this bottom gap, pretty much. I mean, look at this, like, insane retracement. We had these two big gaps, literally, practically filled a both, and then started pumping in here. It has monster volume all throughout the stock. So, I definitely see that maybe we could have a round two possibility. We are still in a downtrend. EMA 200 tells everyone, like, hey, be careful. We are in a downtrend. It doesn't mean, like, to me, this tells me every pump is going to get shorted. You got to take your profits when they happen. Now, when I'm looking at this chart, that's the first thing I see for the longer term. You can definitely see what happens. 200 down, 200 down, 200 down, 200 down. You get the point, right? When that 200 is at the top and price hits it, you better be scared. 200 down, 200 down. All right. So now that we got the direction of the trend, to me, though, this kind of looks like we're breaking out. Remember, like, you can literally see a big engulfing candle literally engulfing literally all of these candles pretty much. So it's definitely really bullish at the same time. I mean, we're out all the way over here. We literally engulfed all these candles with one candle. This is all this data here got engulfed by literally this massive candle. And basically what that means is, when I mean engulf, when you have a body of a candle over a bunch of other candles, that is a very bullish signal. Now, here's the thing, though. We have a daily EMA 50 coming above. That is going to act as resistance, or it could act as resistance. As you can see right in here, daily EMA 50 acting as resistance. We definitely have a breakout structure coming on here. You can clearly see, the higher low, or the higher low or lower high is not happening. This is definitely forming a new high right now. So are we going to get the squeeze that we want? 270 million volume. This stock has not died out on volume. Of course, when we had this monster pump, we had the billions of volume. I don't know if we can get that back again, but could this be just a dead cat bounce? We'll see. Another thing that I like to look for is, are we on an uptrend in the smaller time frames? And the answer is yes. 5-minute uptrend, 15-minute uptrend, and he also started to see that way back in here when this started pumping up in here. You started to see that 15-minute uptrend, and this is why I love this strategy that I teach. You could see, like, right here on that 15-minute, we had that 200 solidifying way over here below $1, and then boom, we're all the way back up in here. We have a 30-minute uptrend, we have a 1-hour uptrend, and that's just beginning to make a nice uptrend right now. Look at that 1 hour. Very recent uptrend that we're having. The way you can really honestly, where I've made the biggest gains and where I've literally showed people how to make the biggest profits, is using the technique of the 1 minute. Because remember, guys, 1 minute will make an uptrend, then the 5-minute. It always go from lower time frames to higher time frames. When you look at this 1 minute chart, when you hit this upper band, you'll start to see it like right in here. When you hit the upper band, this is extremely bullish right in here. And when price pulls back to the 10 and 20, those are your entries, okay, if you really like it. And then from this entry here, 111, all the way up to 140s, right? This strategy, you don't have to get in early. You can see when price is moving. That's a 33% move. And you can see it was starting to form an uptrend here. Didn't quite touch that upper band as you needed. But as you can see, your stop loss is very tight. Like, you right, once it goes back under the 200, you're done. And then once you start to make that momentum again, you're good. But everything about this, we started seeing an uptrend on that 15-minute way back here on this move up right here. We started to see that. Actually, no, it was way back in here when that 200 was at the bottom. But do I think that BYND? I don't know. I mean, this is a really tricky stock. We know way back in the day, this was one of the biggest movers and biggest hypes way back in the day and back in 2019. This is a legit company. It's all in the stores. Obviously, vegan meat is not as popular as, everyone wants it to be, but I do think they can turn this business around and actually have, with this type of volume, that I feel like we could have one more squeeze happened. You can look at the meme stock squeezes we had on GameStop and AMC. When you had that first big rally, there was another rally that happened, shortly after. So I wouldn't be surprised honestly, if this volume continues, that we go up into this EMA 200 and we make a 100% move. I would not be surprised if we break above this upper band and come back up to that 200. Now, can we finally get above that 200? Let me show you how long that 200 has been literally tested and tested and tested. This thing has been years and years. Eventually uptrends will happen on higher quality stocks, but literally way back here, you can see we started to make a switch in the trends back in 2021, way back in here on BYND. And it is 2025. It's been in a downtrend for over 4 years, guys. All right. So can we, we never had a reverse split. So this is not one of your crappier stocks, like your penny stocks. When this thing has a lot of good volume, yeah, it definitely sucked if you got in way up in here. With my strategy, you would have never, ever, ever bought up in here. I tell everyone, if you're trading it up in here, you're day trading it. If you're swing trading it, you're buying up in here. You're buying here, period. Swing trades are at the lower bands. Day trades are when you're not at these bands, because you don't, these pennies will keep going lower and lower. This right here would have made you monster gains. I, no joke, alerted this in the Discord when this happened at 50 cents and went up over 1,400%. If you know how to do my strategy, that's why I tell people, I don't want people copying trading me and be like, because a lot of people be like, oh, what happened to this stock? I lost on it. Have a stop loss. Have a stop loss on what you do on these things. I recommend 15% stop loss for these things. But yeah, no joke. We got this thing at a touch at a lower band. This is your most oversold opportunity. Use time distance. When price doesn't touch this EMA 5, 10, and 20, it will come back to it. All price action reverts to the mean. As you can see, price goes down, goes back up. Price goes down, and now we're what? We're going back to the 50. I have no doubt we'll probably come back to this 200. This is a former squeeze, type of thing. We just need the company to release some type of good news, and we'll be golden, right? But so BYND is definitely in the meme stock category, but it will, I don't think it's over, guys. I really don't. Of course, it went lower than a lot of people think. We went back to this gap here. It got close enough. I think that counts. And it's got volume all throughout this thing. It has volume. It has not literally died out in the volume. It has millions and millions and millions of volume. All right. So I just want to do a quick analysis. A lot of people are like, well, what do you think about BYND? Me personally, use the lower time frames to get in early. All right. Wait for price to show momentum, right? When price is showing, when EMA 200 is at the bottom, you're only looking for buys. It's that simple. When price comes into my customized settings on the Keltners, you're looking for pullbacks into the two areas that I love. EMA 10 and 20 are your rocket ships. Pulls back to the EMA 10, what happens? Boom, a bing, a bada boom. We go from all the way up in here, you're up 33%. Obviously, I would not have held to the very top. I would have taken out 10%. I would have held break even, and it just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. All right, and as you can see, how convenient, price hits the 200 and bounces back up. This is acting as a very, very strong trend, guys. Look at the 1 hour chart. It is extremely bullish. I would not be betting on BYND now. All right. This is a very fresh idea here on the 1 hour. Look at this beautiful cross here. And then you can see it has been acting as resistance on the EMA 200 for a very long time on the 1 hour. Boom, down, boom, down, boom, down. If you know the strategy, you understand why we will not buy when price is coming up into that 200 line. And look how long it's been downtrending. We started downtrending back in 1024. That's literally a month and a half. Can we get an uptrend for over a month and a half? That's the question. I'm more leaning towards bull power. And this is now we're just probably waiting on the 4 hour. As you can see right here, look at this. We're breaking over the 4 hour EMA 200, and we're going from short-term to long-term uptrends. I think maybe it's the time where we finally break above this 200 line and finally make an uptrend on the daily. That's what I'll be counting on. I'm definitely bullish on this one. I'll be looking for retracements back. I'll be looking for momentum on the 1 minute. And I'm going to be looking for pullbacks to the EMA 10 and 20 to take my entries. And I'm just going to keep rinsing and repeating this. And then when I see that the 1 minute fails and switches trends, then I'm going to be a little bit cautious, all right? I want to see momentum on my side, and I want to play it instead of just randomly guessing and sitting on my thumbs on BYND and just holding all throughout this down move and be like, oh, when is it finally going to go, right? And then when it finally goes, you're you're still bag holding and you're just trying to break even. Do this strategy how I teach you. If you're not at these lower bands, you want to use the lower time frames to get in. If you are at this lower bands, this is going to make you the biggest money. And that's where you just accumulate and you make massive money. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. BYND coming out in this lower band with this amount of volume, and then boom, look at that, over 1,000%. We have plays like that happening right here. You know, I take advantage of those on my swing trades. All right. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked this video. Definitely join the Discord. I'm telling you, you guys are going to love it. Let me show you what we do here. Every day I go live. I really want the best for everyone. And I give out my swing trades, day trades, all my education, live streams every day. And for an all-time low cost of $12 a month, you can be a part of a community, which is the most important, is being with other traders that do the same strategy. And they're like, oh, what do you think about this? Because a lot of times I am missing signals. I'm like, I had a perfect win ratio today, day trading based on this strategy that I use. I call it the band strategy. We know when price is momentum, we know for pullbacks, and we know where we put our stop loss. It is super easy, and I make a ton of money, a disgusting amount of money doing this strategy, and I want everyone to, change their life doing this. It's the best strategy out there. I've done a lot of other strategies. This is my number one. But if you want to subscribe, hit how to subscribe, hit Big Cap Day Trade Alerts. That basically means you'll get access to the gold membership. Like you'll see a lot of these people have the gold membership, and it's only $12 a month. Cheapest Discord out there with the highest win ratio, with the most education. Make sure you subscribe on your computer to avoid the iOS fee. I think you will like it. And if you are using an Android, you will have to use your computer. Just keep that in mind. Or just use your phone's browser, and it's only $12 a month. There might be taxes or currency exchange fees, but it's the cheapest I can get it for what you're getting for your price. I promise you, I'm going to work my butt off to make sure you're profitable. But BYND, we are at the verge of another squeeze based on what I'm seeing. We're breaking out, engulfing candle. This is what I'd like to see. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Give a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think about BYND in the comments below. Definitely join the Discord in my comments below, too. My link will be there. I'll see you guys there, and happy trading. Let's go BYND to the moon, guys. I love this chart right now. Peace out.